Good evening, I'm Shane Jones with the Christmas Eve edition of the news. In our top story, Barbadians are still on the road at this very minute, buying last-minute essentials for Christmas Day tomorrow. Our brave camera crew ventured into the belly of the beast today, traveling to Bridgetown to check out some last-minute Christmas Eve madness. It's something we only see once a year, the hustle and bustle of Christmas Eve. And this year is no different. Take a look at Bridgetown. It's the time for everyone. And as they say, every dog has his day. And some are really feeling the Christmas spirit.
It is very exciting. A lot of people in town shopping. This is my friend. She came to buy a mat for me. Look at Swan Street. It's full of people. It's exciting.
Others are shopping too, but also watching their pockets.
Getting some drinks, and ham, turkey, and that kind of thing. But you can't spend all the money.
Well, I was working all the day, so I got today off. So I decided to bring down my son for us to have a little fun today.
Buy everything you wanted?
Everything, so it's home now, out of this stress.
It may be stressful for the adults, but fun for the kids.
I am talking with my cousin, my auntie, my mommy, my sister, my friend.
Not everyone was thrilled though.
Well, I would like some people who are not shopping to move out the road because they're just in the road staying up and not moving. So you have to say, excuse me, and they're still not moving, so you have to bore through, which is very bad. If you're not shopping, just step aside and let the people pass. Because you know you got enough heavy things in your hand to walk away. So they're just like staying up and not moving.
I ain't really battling with the crowd though, you know, because I already shopped early in the year. So it don't be just be at the last minute just walking up and down, watching the people getting, you know.
It may come as a surprise to you, but there are some people who just don't go into the city.
They're going to walk here for the time being. They're saying that this is my first time in town. Shopping, yeah. It's a bit rushing.
It's not bad so far, but I get everything that I'm supposed to get for my son, and I'm very thankful for what I got.
One thing is for certain. For many, Christmas is joy.
Hi everyone, good evening. Merry Christmas to one and all.
Merry Christmas, Barbados. Love you all.
And this story just coming to hand, I'm still accepting gifts, so you can leave them at the front desk. Well, it's crunch time for most bakeries, and as expected, it's no surprise that salt bread is in hot demand. A number of bakeries have been reported an increase in sales from it. Shane Seeley has that story.
The clock is ticking, and with only just a few hours left before Christmas, bakeries are trying to meet customer demand. Manager at Carter's Bakery, Marva Green, says salt bread is selling fast, particularly the white ones.
So far, sales have been going reasonably well since we started out this week, because you know Bajans, they like their salt bread, and most of them, you hear Carter's salt bread, they're always saying, you know, they like Carter's salt bread with their ham.
Over at Purity Bakeries, the sales and distribution manager Christopher Simmons says they're making their salt bread more appealing. He also says business is up about 5% for the season.
I think a lot of it has to do with our new packaging. We changed the packaging right at the beginning of December. It really does feature the product a lot more, so consumers are being able to see the freshness of the salt bread a lot more clearly. It's also a lot more of a fundamental, a basic packaging, but very attractive. You know, in the final analysis, salt bread is very much one of those traditional products.
Now, compared to previous Christmas seasons, manager at Nichols Bakery, MacDonald Nichols, says bread sales have improved.
It's a lot better. It's like a 25% increase over last year so far.
And bakeries in general are expecting greater sales from bread on Christmas Eve. Shane Seeley, Cbc News.
While many Bajans were out shopping for gifts and food stuff for tomorrow, some have been busy giving facelifts to their dining and living rooms. Barbadians have been breathing fresh life into their old furniture pieces. From getting them upholstered or adding a fresh coat of varnish or polish, the aim is to make them look as good as new. And AC's Woodwork Shop in St. Philip is just one of the locations where people have been flocking to get this done. Owner and skilled artisan Adrian Clark says this season has been good, remaining on par with last year.
A lot of dining room chairs, living room chairs, and mainly dining room chairs and living room chairs. And some other small items, but the majority is being dining room and living room.
The talented Clark also makes furniture, but stresses refurbishment is in high demand and it's often quicker to complete.
If I work on it steady, it can be done in a week. Building, I would say 2 to 3 weeks.
It's not a solo effort for Mr. Clark, as his children, Keon and Kadrian, readily assist.
He would give me like work to do, and I would just do it. If I find difficulties, I will help him, and he will help me. Sand, put together, and glue chairs.
Mr. Clark is optimistic good business will continue into next year. The homeless situation in Barbados could be worse than it appears. That's why a group of friends who call themselves Cheerful Givers wants to work with the Vagrants and Homeless Society to help those in need. They got the ball rolling this Christmas Eve morning, handing out containers of food and gifts donated by Digicel in Queen's Park. Spokesperson for the group, Shakita Grant, says they fed up to 80 people during the food drive, and she says their effort will not stop there.
We realize that people don't want meals just at Christmas, and we can't just use Christmas time to help people. So we're going to go back to the drawing board and see how we can make this a sustainable effort. One of the things that surprised me today was how many young people were here, and then how many people here did not fit the typical profile of what you would consider a homeless person. So it means a lot of people among us who look, you know, just like you or I are in this situation. So 2 things: we need in general to be more helpful, but we're also going to talk to Kimar Safri from the Barbados Vagrants and Homeless Society to see what we can do to make a meaningful contribution.
The idea, dubbed Spreading Christmas Cheer, was the brainchild of Marcia Walthrust and her daughter.
My daughter, Tia Mike, it was her initiative around March this year. She said to me, a strong thought told her that we have to assist people who are in need. We should help. We need to feed people. And so that was on my way home. She even had like this meltdown about it. She was very emotional. And so from that Saturday throughout the year, every other Saturday, we would come in, just she and I, and give brunch or breakfast or lunch, whatever we can afford at the time.
After the break, a forest of lights.
Happy Christmas from Arawak Cement Company Limited. Building your home, sweet home.
Everybody, well, it's that time of year to be with friends and family, spreading lots of joy and cheer. Gather around the Christmas tree, come let us celebrate. The light of love must shine brightly. Let us make this Christmas great.
Season's greetings from the Barbados Light and Power Company.
Remember to unplug the tree.
Barbadians are being told to exercise sounder judgment on the island's roads as they go about their last-minute Christmas preparations. This advice from Public Relations Officer at the Barbados Road Safety Association, Richard Cox. Mr. Cox says this hustle and bustle is general practice this time of the year, and hence motorists need to be extra vigilant. Mr. Cox says although the onus is on motorists, pedestrians too need to play their part.
Fellow motorists, it is at this point that I, on behalf of the Barbados Road Safety Association, want to implore us all that if we are going to have any drinks, have a designated driver to take us safely home. Pedestrians too must make sure that we have fewer drinks or accidents at all for the remainder of the Christmas period. The lives we save may very well be our own.
Well, Barbadians now have a spot to get away from the busy Christmas season. This as Farley Hill National Park has been transformed into an Enchanted Lights forest. More from Lorna Jones.
Little ones to adults came out to take a stroll through the Enchanted Lights forest at the Farley Hill National Park last night. From 6 p.m. to 11 p.m., the grounds of the park will sparkle with dazzling light displays. Creative Director with Volume Entertainment, Elia Gajada, says it's an event the whole family can enjoy and escape from the hectic activity during the Christmas season.
Christmas is one of those times where we love, but we also get caught up in all of the gifts and food and getting the house and people say, you want a quiet time, you want a space. Come up to Farley Hill, bring your kids, enjoy the beauty and the charm of our night sky, and come and look at the lights.
The ruins are illuminated with colored floodlights, and patrons can stroll through the light tunnel, which doubles as a great spot for a photo op. For the children and young at heart, there are plenty of activities.
We have set the place in different sections. One of them has a light show, the other one we have a park in it with jumping pads, we have face painting, we have a photo booth, and we have a small market.
This patron heard about the event on Facebook and came to give her son a memorable experience.
Well, it's quite nice. Farley Hill's lit up quite well. It's quite beautiful.
The Enchanted Lights Forest will be open until December 31st, 2016. Lorna Jones, CBC News.
Barbadian businessman and tourism pioneer Paul Foster has died. Mr. Foster, who was in his early 90s, passed away at home this morning. He had been ailing for a number of years. Mr. Foster was instrumental in the development of the tourism industry through his work as first manager of the Barbados Tourists Board and founder of Foster & Ince Cruise Services with business partner Cecil Ince. He was also heavily involved with the Barbados National Trust, serving as president for 7 years. He was founder of the Barbados Amateur Water Polo Association and the Barbados JCs and one of the founders of the Rotary Club of Barbados. Mr. Foster is survived by 5 children and 10 grandchildren.